We've got just 2 more of these left to go for this 2024-25 season, the IU Indy Coaches Show here on the ISC Sports Network. We are live at Back 9 Golf Entertainment on the southwest spoke of downtown Indianapolis. Now, you would not know it by the snow that is outside currently, but spring sports are underway across all levels of college athletics. And there is not a team that travels more this time of year than does the softball program. So somewhere between bouts of jet lag or long bus and van rides, head coach Liz Beirne joins us now after opening weekends in Los Angeles and upstate South Carolina in Spartanburg. They're about to head that direction again to take on multiple teams down in Chattanooga, hopefully if the weather holds on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Coach, literally, thanks for working us in your busy schedule. How are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Good. When you coach in the Midwest, at any level, you know if you're going to get games in until about mid-March, you're likely doing it away from home. What is this time of year like for you every year?
It's always chaotic, no matter how much you prepare for it. You know, we leave Thursday morning usually and don't get back till late Sunday night. So you only have 2 or 3 days to get everything prepared for the next trip. So, you know, like you said, we being in the Midwest, you are used to it. You know, I think it does help our team to have all that road time to bond and to get to know each other. But I will say after the 4 weekends are up, we are definitely happy to be in our own beds.
There are 2 distinct seasons for the IU Indy women's softball team. Non-conference, which means away, and then conference play, where it's a mix of things. That kind of wants you going in terms of mid-March. You got to open your season against one of the legendary programs in college softball in UCLA. And while the results weren't great, you kind of knew what you were going to be facing in a program like that. It's still odd to think that's a Big Ten team. That's a conversation for a different show. What was it like to open with them the first day of the season?
Again, I think it was a really great experience for the players. Just to be on, like you said, the iconic softball field where, you know, they've won the most national championships. You can see it on their wall. I think for them to kind of experience that was a really, really cool experience for them. And even though we lost, we saw a lot of good things that we could build from that game. And they got to see the best of the best. So they kind of can know, like, okay, this is what we need to do better. This is, you know, and when you take a loss against the best, it's a little easier than when you take a loss of someone you should beat. And
I think it speaks very well of your team. You weren't playing that caliber of team the next day, but the very next night, you get a win. You beat Cal State Northridge 5 for that. That had to be a good sign for your club.
Yeah, absolutely. It's always, you know, any kind of, you know, winning is something that you have to learn how to do. So it's something we're trying to push this preseason, even against some of the tougher teams that, you know, go out there and find a way to compete, find a way to win, so we can roll that over into our conference.
All right, got to play 3 around the weather last weekend in South Carolina and took 1 of the 3 over. How'd you feel about last weekend?
I think we ended on a very positive note. You know, I think the first 2 games were definitely learning experiences. We have a very young team. And, you know, we didn't play the best those 2 games. We made some mistakes that we shouldn't have made. But it was really nice to see that last day after we kind of had that break from the weather that they were able to clean that up and kind of finish on a high note.
All right, so let's talk about your team since you brought it up. I remember last year's group, a very senior-dominated group, a very experience-laden team, one that did make the Horizon League tournament. So you knew coming in a lot of freshmen were going to play. How has that process been so far?
It's, you know, it's good and bad, I think, in the sense of, like, it's great that you have a lot of new energy, they're a lot of fun, you know, and this I would say bad. It's not actually bad. It's just that, you know, you have to kind of go through the growing pains a little bit of, like, you're teaching them everything on and off the field of, you know, how we want this program to run and what we do. So again, that's not bad, wasn't the right word for it, but it's definitely, you know, more of a challenge in that area to make sure that we're putting, you know, our philosophies into play. And when you have 15 new kids, there's a lot to teach there.
Now, you do have some very experienced players coming back. One of them is off to her typical scintillating start. There's seemingly a new pal kid on every college roster ever. Kendall Calvert sitting 333 to start the season. Give me a thought as to how she's done for you so far.
Kendall's phenomenal. She's been phenomenal every year she's been here. She just is such a competitor, comes out there and, you know, wants to fight every single game. So you got to love that about her. And then even off the field, she's just a phenomenal kid, you know. So I could sit here and talk for an hour of what great things that she does for our program and for everyone around her.
She's not the only new pal kid you got. One of your pitchers, and Alexa Holman is one too. So now my question is, How often does Coach Markham show up at games and kind of hang out and check out the proceedings?
Actually, I think I don't know if he's come to any. He might have come to one. I obviously go to a lot of his games, but you like you said, I think the whole senior class of the New Pal High School went on went on to college programs. Some of them really big college programs.
So again, I know Ed, and I get to cover a handful of their games every year. Normally, his Twitter feed is, my team did this today, or I went to go watch this player of mine play college softball. So I'll give him some stick the next time I see him about not making sure he's getting to see you as well. Other player I wanted to reference, had a great year last year. Isn't hitting it as well early, but again, it's so early. What does Kennedy Cowan mean for your team?
Oh, she's, again, another player that means a lot. She's, this is her junior year. Her first 2 years kind of led the team in hitting. I will say she's always been a little bit of a slow starter, so that's a little bit who she is. So we know that she's going to get going. We have complete faith that she'll get going and lead us in the areas that she needs to lead us. And again, she brings a lot of energy. She brings a lot of heart to our team as well.
All right, let's talk about Lily Roush. Off to a fantastic start in the circle for you. Again, Alexa Holman, by far your most experienced returning pitcher, but Lily off to a good start. Tell us about her.
Yeah, Lily, again, very energetic, which I like. She has a lot of fight and on that mound, and she loves pitching. I'll say she's definitely someone who just everything about pitching she loves. She loves, she's kind of a pitcher only, so doesn't hit or anything, but gets so excited in practice when she can pitch, when she gets to compete out there. So she's a really fun pitcher to watch as well.
All right, so obviously once you're in season, again, it's travel, play, you got to get some rest in there somewhere. You're already at the point where you're not getting that much practice during the course of the week. And obviously we got this limiting factor like single-digit temperatures in the morning. What can you do, say, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, before you hop a flight, hop on a bus, et cetera, to go play over the course of the weekend?
Yeah, we kind of are taking, okay, what did we do this weekend that we need to improve on? And, let's hit those points. We really only have 2 practice days because Monday we kind of let them recover,
of course,
get their studies caught up. So we really don't have a whole lot of time to do it. But I think being inside, we're just trying to be as efficient as possible, hitting those points of okay, where were our weaknesses? Let's keep improving on them.
All right, so you're about, a month away from conference play getting started. Once you get to conference play, almost all the focus is on what you do in the league. Again, made the league tournament last year. Just kind of your thoughts as to how the Horizon League shapes up going into the season. Yeah,
it's always a very interesting conference just because I feel like it's a battle every single game. We usually are all sitting right at kind of the same levels. Going into the last weekend, sometimes you can finish second or you can finish out of the tournament. So I think it's always a battle, and that's what we're trying to prepare for. I think it'll be key if we can get, 2 or 3 pitchers really solid, keeping us in ball games, and then getting our hitting to the point of where we're a true offense, scoring runs, stepping up in the right situations.
I had the pleasure of calling your games in the Horizon League softball tournament last year. I hope I get to do that again coming up in the second weekend. And man, you never know, they might just be here. Liz, it's a pleasure to see you again.
Tell
us about the player that's going to be joining us momentarily.
So Tori, she's one of our new players that joined us. She's transferred in. She's been awesome. Again, she's a hitter for us. I think she's going to do really well hitting for us, especially in the Horizon League. She's a good leader. Has a very calming presence about her. Doesn't get really too high or too low, which can help other girls. Not a lot of nerves with her, and just very pleasant to be around as well. So that's just fun.
Tori Candler will be joining us when we come back as you're watching the IU Indy Coaches Show here from Back 9 Golf Entertainment, presented in part by KeyBank and White River State Park. Back in a moment on ISC.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
This is the place that's skill built. Here, highly skilled physicians never rest in their pursuit to heal, to comfort, to cure. With these hands, you'll receive nationally recognized heart care and Indiana's most leading-edge cancer care. With these hearts, with these guts, with these brains, you'll find the highest level of care in the state. This is the hope that skill built, and it's around every corner of Indiana University Health.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, we can ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, we can ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
Listen up, all you golf lovers. Looking for a private course for yourself or your company? Problem solved. Indy's Eastside Hidden Gym and Pete Dye's first 18-hole design is Maple Creek Golf and Country Club. Visit maplecreekgc.com today.
Welcome back on the ISC Sports Network. We are at Back 9 Golf Entertainment. We are live. We do this every other Wednesday. We start right after Labor Day. We finish once we get to like the first Wednesday in March. Well, folks, that's not too far away. This is our next to last show. Scheduled to join us in 2 weeks, the Commissioner of the Horizon League and Julie Rowe-Lash, and Director of Athletics Luke Basso at IU Indianapolis. But we are talking softball and men's tennis on the program today. And we are joined by one of the new faces, one of the many new faces on the IU Indy softball team this season, Tori Candler. She is from Roncalli High School, played the Division III level at Center College in Kentucky before making her way back home to play for the Jaguars this year and hopefully next year as well. Tori, pleasure to meet you. How are you today?
I'm doing great. Had a great lift and practice before this. We're good to go.
Very, very good. All right, so let's kind of talk about the decision to come home and obviously bump up a couple of levels after playing Division III softball. Why was this the right place for you to kind of continue your softball career?
I felt that last year after my injury, I ended up having to have shoulder surgery. I tore my labrum, that I wanted a fresh start. We got new coaches, and I felt like it was time for a change. New shoulder, new me, decided I wanted to come a little bit closer to home. And once I entered the portal, I was talking to Coach Beirne and Coach Mandy a lot, and they had great things to say about the program and the school, and it was close to home, had my major, and it was everything that I really wanted.
Well, Center is a wonderful school and plays at a very good level of Division III athletics, but your first game with IU Indy is at UCLA. That's just a bit of a jump. What was that experience like for you?
Honestly, I went in there with an open mind, wanted to play loose, play free, because you're only going to live once. Like, you're never going to be able to experience this again, and you need to just take in the moment and live the experience, because it's really just you and the team there. Like, nothing else matters. Everyone expected us to go in there and lose, so we're the underdogs, so we have to go in there with that mindset, like, we have nothing to lose.
Now, you, because you played at Roncalli, played a very high level of high school softball, and we'll kind of talk about that coming up in a matter of moments, but there aren't many stadiums like the one that UCLA has. What was the atmosphere and environment like to play in a setting like that?
The atmosphere was incredible. Like, just being on the field literally felt like I was on a movie scene. It was crazy. All of the fans that showed out, because it was UCLA's opening weekend, because they got the games canceled the day before. So we were their first game. So it was a really great atmosphere to be in.
All right, so we mentioned playing at Roncalli, played at part of multiple state championship teams, played with what was thought to be the best softball player in high school softball was your teammate Keegan Rothrock, who now plays in the SEC and plays at Florida. So you got to play. I got to call a handful of your games at Roncalli as well. What was it like having that level of interest and, frankly, big crowds watching you on a regular basis while you were playing high school softball?
Honestly, it was nothing too overwhelming, because we all knew coming in, like, there's going to be a big target on our back. Everyone's out to get us, and we just had to play like the team that we were. We knew that we had the talent, and we just had to play loose, play free, and it didn't matter who was going to see us. It didn't matter who we were playing. We were going to go out there, and we were going to win.
So here might be a sign as to how good they were. Do you remember how many times you actually lost playing high school softball at Roncalli? It wasn't many, was it?
Maybe twice.
and they were pretty good. And again, multiple kids playing college softball. And again, obviously, Tori now playing at IU Indy. All right, academically, how are things going for you on campus in your first year?
Things are going great. I've had a really smooth transition. My advisor has been a huge help transferring all of my credits and being able to put me in all of my major classes that I need to be able to graduate on time.
All right, and the major for you is what?
I'm actuarial science.
All right, and now I have some idea what that is. I also know that's a program that's very much in demand. My guess would be is that even though you're only a junior, you might even have like a job lined up a couple of years from now. Is that correct?
Yeah, I'm going to be working towards getting an internship this summer to work to lining up a job after graduation.
All right, so congratulations on that. Still this year and next year softball-wise left for you, correct?
Correct. I could have a third year if I want to.
Right, well, which is also good to know as well. And so that leads to, I think I had a chance to talk about this with Liz, but again, if you were watching the beginning of the show, the travel these young ladies go through, especially about a month, is crazy. How do you balance class load, maybe overloading the fall and not have as big of a class load in the spring, knowing how important that degree is to you? How do you balance the two?
It's super important to work with your advisors and your teachers. Make sure your teachers know and are on the same page as you that you're going to be gone a lot, but you're able to work with them and try to reschedule things. Like I have to reschedule. I'm taking an exam after this that I missed last week. We were traveling for softball, and my teacher's been super great about it. And it's just really important to stay on top of things and make sure you have things on your calendar and really like plan things out.
All right, what position are you playing for the team this year?
I'm a utility, so I can play pretty much anywhere except for pitching and catching. But mostly I play third or I will just hit.
All right, very cool. You got 5 games, weather permitting, this weekend in Chattanooga. What are some of the goals you have set kind of for the near future, but frankly for you and the team for the rest of the season?
For the rest of the season, we are going to work, our theme this year is Captain America. So we are working on being, even if we're the underdogs in the situation, like being good team sports, team leaders, trying to build off of each other and build each other up whenever we need it. And go ahead.
No, please, finish, please.
And we're just really focusing on that next step and continuing to build off of each other and work for trying to get over 500 this season.
I know how benches operate in softball. I know enough college softball broadcasts to know. Sometimes props are involved. Has somebody brought a shield into the dugout yet?
We do have a shield in the dugout.
Knew they would be on top of it. Tori, pleasure to meet you. Tell Coach Locke I said hello next time you see him. And good luck this weekend.
Thank you.
Tori Candler of the IU Indy women's softball team coming up to join us. We'll take this quick timeout. When we come back, we'll talk to the men's tennis head coach. The men's tennis team is off to a fantastic start. And yes, I know it's like super cold outside. They play like all indoor matches. They have been going since mid-January. He'll join us next as we'll wrap up this edition of the IU Indy Coaches Show right here on the ISC Sports Network.
This is the place that's skill built. Here, highly skilled physicians never rest in their pursuit to heal, to comfort, to cure. With these hands, you'll receive nationally recognized heart care and Indiana's most leading-edge cancer care. With these hearts, with these guts, with these brains, you'll find the highest level of care in the state. This is the hope that's skill built, and it's around every corner of Indiana University Health.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
We're Citizens Energy Group, and we're here for you. We're your local utility provider and your neighbors. We take care of our customers while connecting to what matters. We are committed to providing safe, reliable services and making our community a better place to live. At Citizens Energy Group, we're all citizens.
We gon' push it to the limit, we gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever, when we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we ride, we gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever. When we ride, we gon' ride together. So together we ride, certified. It's together we rise. We gon' push it to the limit. We gon' rise together, side by side to the finish. Down the ride forever.
Now, I'm a fan of all sports at IU Indy, but there is one sport that would be a college athlete in like an entirely different millennium ago, and it would be the sport of tennis. And I happen to be a member at West Indy, which happens to be the home courts of the IU Indy men's and women's tennis teams. In fact, either he just wrapped morning practice and came straight here, or he has practice this afternoon and is heading there as we speak. Men's head coach Bren Vasalakis joining us now. Buddy, it's good to see you. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me.
4-5 is the record, and again, that's solid. And again, it resets in a week or two when you kind of get to league play. But wins against UIC, Eastern Illinois, Illinois State, and Lipscomb. I think you got to be pretty happy so far how the non-conference season is going for you.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Our guys are competing very well so far, and we've had some good wins and looking to keep maintaining that and take that into our conference play.
And this is as busy of a weekend as you have. You're going to play 3 times over the course of 36 hours. You're going to play home to Marion, go to Ball State, and then come back and play USI on Saturday night. So I've seen split doubleheaders. I'm not sure if split in 2 different facilities. How did this come about?
You know, yeah, it's not rare to play a doubleheader in a day for tennis.
Sure, of course.
But it is a little rare to drive somewhere, come back and play a home match. It's just kind of how it worked out. Southern Indiana's head coach for the men's is the head coach for men and women, and they're playing the women that day. So wanted to get an extra match. They're a solid team. They're actually technically in our conference on the other side. So it'll be a good test for our boys. And it's sometimes I put us through these kind of weekends just to test our toughness, you know, to get us ready for conference.
I would say you tested your toughness last weekend, too. The equivalent of the women's softball team playing at UCLA would be you guys playing at Northwestern. Again, a perennial tennis powerhouse. While you lost 7-0, what'd you learn about your team in those matches?
Yeah, I mean, it was a humbling experience, I would say, but there's things I'm seeing, like our doubles has been very consistent this year. That's only the second doubles point we've lost this year to Northwestern, and we were even in that doubles point. We should have taken it. Their coach came up to us and said, you outplayed us in doubles, and we did, and we just kind of let it go. So that's been a big strength of ours, and if we can continue to do that and be more consistent with our singles, I think we're going to be in a pretty good spot, especially going into the conference.
The staple of being any spring sport athlete, especially when you're in the Midwest, is the thought of, hey, I'm going somewhere warmer at some point in time. You guys now play kind of so many matches in January and February, you frankly can't load up a bunch of matches like for a week in Florida. But you are going to Charleston, South Carolina to play 2. Tell us about it.
Yeah, we're changing it up a little bit this year and going up to Charleston and playing a couple teams we haven't played before. They'll be new on the schedule and hoping to get outside. I mean, we will be outside. And it'll be a good test, you know, putting us in the outdoor atmosphere after being indoors and see how we handle it. And for us, we always think going outside is a strength for us because not a lot of teams in our conference play outdoors. So we want to get out there as soon as possible and test ourselves.
Well, let's talk about that because, you know, again, I mentioned, especially this time of year, West Indy is home. I literally see the court sheet. The practice schedule is set on a daily basis. You do have outdoor courts on campus once again. That used to be a no-brainer in the days of the Indianapolis Tennis Center. I'm old. That was 15 years ago. The groundbreaking for what's going to happen in place of that, well, comes up a little bit later today in terms of the new basketball, volleyball, athletics home, et cetera, on campus. But the ability to have courts that you can use on campus, what has that meant for your team?
Oh, it's been huge, you know, being able to get out there whenever they want, especially in the fall. In the fall, we're out there the whole time, basically. It's been nice enough weather that we're pretty much outside. And we have lights on those courts. Those guys go and use those courts under the lights. And it's a place to call home. I mean, I played on the team when we did have ITC, and it was for the first 2 years, and then we moved to West Indy. So just to have the home courts back on campus it's a great move. And, you know, when you're playing out there and you can see Lucas Oil in the backdrop, it's pretty nice. It's fun to play out there.
I was lucky enough to play as a freshman in college on those courts. I actually got to play on the stadium court, which is a great idea until you realize the flower beds were still there. You don't have a ball kid. You got to have somebody go get another can of balls. But other than that, it was great. And you're right. To be able to kind of frame the downtown skyline is so super cool. All right, you referenced Horizon League play. which really begins in mid-March and runs for about 5 or 6 weeks. And it is unique because there are a bit of a scarcity of Horizon League teams that still field men's tennis programs. So the traditional Horizon League teams constitute the North Division, along with Chicago State, who won the women's title last year. The South Division is really the OVC teams that have men's tennis teams, of which Southern Indiana is one. So that's not a conference match coming up this weekend. But I know that with schools like Belmont and Tennessee Tech, that has added a little more pop in terms of the league. How does the league race shape up for you this year?
We're looking forward to it. I think in our North Division, and I feel like all the coaches kind of feel like it's who's going to be competing the best at that time, taking care of your home courts, and getting some close wins and some big moments. So excited for conference opportunity to get back in the tournament. A few years back we made the run to the final. Would love to get there. Just get that opportunity again and fight for those championships.
Ann Arbor, correct, this year for the conference tournament?
Yep, that's correct.
Championship is on April the 26th. ESPN Plus is where you can find it. I might know this because I might be lucky enough to be on the call of it, again, from a broadcasting standpoint. 5 seniors on your roster. Tell me about them.
Oh, man, they've been great. Really bought in and leading this group of 10 guys with 4 freshmen. So it's 5 seniors, 1 junior, and 4 freshmen. It's kind of how it works with tennis sometimes, but really enjoyed coaching this group. They're bought in. They want to see success in our program, and the freshmen are tagging along. They're right there with us. So couldn't be more excited and excited to see what we do this year.
You literally have kids from all across the country and some international flair as well. The one that I know very well happens to be the one that is the local product. Tell me about your junior and Eli Mercer from Carmel.
Oh, Eli's been a very solid piece for us. He's always someone we can rely on. Always great attitude. His work ethic's great, and we've been really pleased with him. And him being a junior and going to have him another year is going to be awesome for us. So, what can you say? He's a great kid. All
right, Marion coming up on Friday at Ball State at noon on Saturday, home to USI. Pair of matches. The women play at 3 o'clock against USI at West Indy. So if you want to come watch college tennis, Guyan Road, West Indy Racket Club, IU Indy Jags always has more in terms of IUIndyJags.com. Coach, I know I will see you very soon.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Good luck this weekend. All right, now, as we wrap up the show, it is a very busy time. It's that crossover time of year between spring sports and winter sports. This weekend at the auditorium, Horizon League Swimming and Diving Championships. The IU Indy men's basketball team is at Detroit Mercy tonight. They return home for Robert Morris next Thursday. And the women and men in basketball finish the regular season with a doubleheader at the Corteva Coliseum with the women's game at noon, men's game at 2:30 on Saturday, March 1st. We'll do this one more time Wednesday, March 5th. We hope you join us then. For everybody behind the scenes, this is Greg Rakestraw. Thanks for watching the IU Indy Coaches Show right here on the ISC Sports Network.
At Indiana Members Credit Union, we're invested in more than just your finances. We're invested in your future, the future of your family, the well-being of the community you live in, and in those who dream big. Until those dreams become a reality, any bank can give you a loan or open an account. At IMCU, we care about more than just dollars and cents. We care about doing things that make sense. And investing in you makes good sense to us.
This is the place that's skill built. Here, highly skilled physicians never rest in their pursuit to heal, to comfort, to cure. With these hands, you'll receive nationally recognized heart care and Indiana's most leading-edge cancer care. With these hearts, with these guts, with these brains, you'll find the highest level of care in the state. This is the hope that's skill built, and it's around every corner of Indiana University Health.
We're Citizens Energy Group, and we're here for you. We're your local utility provider and your neighbors. We take care of our customers while connecting to what matters. We are committed to providing safe, reliable services and making our community a better place to live. At Citizens Energy Group, we're all citizens.
Listen up, all you golf lovers. Looking for a private course for yourself or your company? Problem solved. Indy's Eastside Hidden Gym and Pete Dye's first 18-hole design is Maple Creek Golf and Country Club. Visit maplecreekgc.com today.